It's time to play ball. Welcome to the podcast with no limits. Whether it be sports, current events, or random thoughts, this is the place to step in and stay a while. Your host is a proud alumnus of Rio Hondo Prep, a former minor league baseball umpire, and a man with strong opinions. Welcome to the Get Home Safe podcast and your host, Matt Hersema.
Hey guys, and welcome to another episode of Get Home Safe. It is a little unique background here. This is just my couch, nothing fancy here, but I'm joined by a very special guest, my good buddy from New Mexico, Jesse Segura. That's why I'm wearing the Breaking Bad shirt here. Jesse, what's going on, man?
Not much. It's good to be in Cali for sure.
Well, I wish us Californians could say that, but hey, it's a nice place to visit. We'll say that.
Hey, In-N-Out Burger, man. First stop.
First stop. We made it happen. Absolutely. I've been doing single episodes the past few months, and just having myself on here rambling away. I used to have guests all the time, but that got tough to kind of get people together. So
Sure.
This is nice. You're in town. I thought, hey, sit on the couch. Let's start talking like we would normally.
Yeah, absolutely.
Jesse from New Mexico. So I had to wear my Breaking Bad shirt. The old what was his last name in the show? Jesse
Heimberg.
Jesse. Oh man, no, that was the Walter White guy.
Oh, okay. Hold on.
Heisenberg. We'll come up with it, I'm sure, at some point.
Yeah.
But yeah, on my phone too, dude. You have the Breaking Bad logo and the Breaking Bad rings when you ring, and you have the yo text messages as Jesse as well. So you very personalized stuff.
Hey, sweet. I didn't know that. Shoot.
Gee, hey, one of my important people, Jesse. So talk to me about Breaking Bad in Albuquerque. I mean, I've been there visiting. I grabbed every souvenir I could, but is it still kind of like the identity of the town?
Somewhat. Kind of depends on who you talk to. You know, with so many shows and everything nowadays.
Yeah.
I'm sure it's still popular, but not so much. You know, you go to Old Town, there's still a store completely dedicated to it. And it's actually a pretty badass store.
Oh yeah.
They have cookies and they have, fake meth candy. They get into it, man. But no, I wouldn't say it's the identity, more so the balloon fiesta, stuff like that. But people still love their Breaking Bad out there. Yeah. And it's funny when you're cruising around town still, you cruise by spots, you're like, oh yeah, that was in Breaking Bad. So
I want to do the tour. I even talked to Val about we got to fly out. I think it's a 1-day tour. Check that out. I also want to go to New Jersey and do the Sopranos thing. But when I was there for a series a few years ago, Albuquerque, I definitely made the rounds and was like looking for Breaking Bad stuff because I love that show. It's not for the faint of heart by any means. It is a show that is very dark, but really, really good.
Yeah. I haven't watched it since college, dude. So I need a refresh.
Were you in college when it was going on?
Yeah, high school and college. Because it came out 2011?
I want to say that sounds about right. Yeah. Interesting.
So late high school, early college.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So Jesse and I know each other through baseball. How I know most of my friends. We spent a summer together. 2018, the year of our Lord, I think 2020. In the American Association. Me and Mike Jarbo went, and we were like, we got to find someone to go on the road with us, and never met before. Who's Jesse Segura? And we all hit it off. The three of us, thick as thieves. Not every story we can tell here on the podcast, but we had a good time.
Absolutely. That's why it's good to reunite, man.
Playing umpiring, professional baseball, independent league ball in the American Association. Both of us have at one point been in minor league ball affiliated, but again, you build so many relationships with guys who strap up, who wear that mask, and you're just one of although most of the guys I know are older. Everyone's like, oh, Matt, all of Matt's friends are old. I got that for a long time, but you're one of my younger friends through baseball.
I'll take it. Yeah, no, for sure. And I like what you said. I'm going to see other people out here too. You know, staying with you, but just the friendships you build and the places you go, the people you meet. Some of them last longer than you'd think, and some last shorter than you think. But the ones that were meant to last, they stay, and here we are.
Well, that's what's funny about friendships, and I'm blessed with a lot of good friends. people from all over the country, people I've known a short amount of time, some I've known forever. I think friendships really are what you put into it. It might just be a text message, once every few months to someone, or reaching out and making that effort to call people. You're someone that's put in a lot of effort, which is why we stayed in such good touch, because it's a two-way street.
Oh yeah. Hmm.
You know,
Yeah, no, for sure. And like my buddy who's getting married, I haven't seen him in years,
Mm.
but we pick up right where we left off. He sent me the invitation. His mom texted me, and he was my first friend ever, actually. In kindergarten, I walked up to him and I
Wow.
said, "Want to be my friend?" He said, "Sure." And here we are today. But no, just getting back to the point of, it is a two-way street. And even if you don't talk or see each other every day, you still pick up where you left off.
You should be able to, man. And I don't know how many times I got a friend. Oh yeah, my buddy here, my buddy there, my other friend. It's like they're all over the place, and it's not like I rank them in any order, but I just like hanging out with so many different friends, and at different friends you get different things from. Some you get baseball knowledge, some you get the party fun time, some you get the serious advice from. It's like it's good to have a wide range of people in your life. At least that's my opinion.
Yeah, I agree. Absolutely.
Various backgrounds and things. So tell me about Albuquerque. We've all visited there. We've all tried to spell it over the years, but as far as someone who's been born and raised there, I mean, what's it like growing up and living in Albuquerque?
Yeah, for sure. I love it, truthfully. There's a lot of outdoor things. It is kind of a shutdown city. If you're kind of looking for major nightlife type deal, early 20s, maybe not so much, but I love it there, man. I'm a big outdoors guy, right? Baseball, love riding my bike, love playing disc golf. I'm not a big normal ball golf, but I know we have a lot of great courses out there. Of course, I've been to a few, but so that's nice. But for me personally, man, of course, I have the family aspect, and I like that it's small, but it's not tiny.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's big, but it's not overwhelming. And sometimes I can kind of stink, right? But for the most part, I like that about the city. I don't mind that it only takes 20, 25 minutes to get from one side to the other. But we have this joke back home that people don't cross the river. We got the Rio Grande running through there. And it is kind of true. I've found like, dang, I don't go on the east side that much, So yeah, you have that. And then there's actually a lot of tradition in Albuquerque that people don't realize. And when you do get out and hop on your bike and stuff, we have so many trails and just a lot that pass through there. You have Old Town. So that's actually really cool. I know you've probably seen on my Snap. I'm always cruising, finding art or pieces of just history that have been restored or put up in a park or like a civic plaza. I love that stuff, man. Not a super nerd about it, but I think it's cool that, because not every city necessarily emphasizes or shows that about their past. So, and then of course, green chili.
Oh boy, what do we got? Green chili. What's
on everything?
Wow,
we put that on everything. Breakfast burritos, burgers, pizza. My mom's signature dish is green chili chicken Alfredo. Let me tell you, man.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah. So people get crazy with it. They make like bizcochitos. They make green chili beer.
Wow.
Green chili ice cream. I'm good on all that.
Yeah, I'm not a real spicy guy, so.
Oh, okay.
I probably am out, I guess.
No, you would try it.
Yeah.
Because you can, just like a jalapeno, right? You can get a batch that's lights your world up, and then you get a batch that's just flavorful. Yeah, actually, you might. It might kick you in the butt.
Yeah, I would probably die. But no, as far like New Mexico, I mean, some family history of mine is there. My grandfather was from there, and so it was always cool being there. It's not that far away. You flew to Vegas. Vegas is close to here. I mean, it's really not that far away. It just goes to show that if you put effort in to see your buddies or just to get away, like sometimes you just need a getaway. And where can I go? Who am I going to go with? Well, just go see a friend. That works too, right? I mean, that's easier than planning a vacation for a couple of people or something.
Yeah, no, for sure. Just get up and go. And that's one of the cool things about being in that profession is you have a buddy there. You don't need a room. Yeah. Well, now you have all that money to go do fun stuff or to go explore or to afford the plane ticket, So
where are some places, since you've traveled a lot, that you've really enjoyed? Don't tell me Sioux Falls. What was that? South Dakota. Don't tell me that's on your list. But where are some places you've been in your life that you really enjoyed being at?
Yeah, Sioux Falls is a little bit short on the list. So no, one of my favorites was St. Paul.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just a great city, great town. Loved it. Met some cool people there as well. Saw the cathedral one of the days. So I loved St. Paul. It was also different for me growing up in the desert. I was never really used to a summer that's not scorching in 100+ degree weather.
Yeah.
So yeah, St. Paul was great. Lincoln was fun. And although I overstayed my welcome maybe in Arizona. I loved Arizona, man.
I love Arizona. It's hot, but it's hot everywhere at some point, and it's like, hey, let's have a good time. The winters are great.
Oh yeah. Yeah. And Arizona reminds me a lot of home. I mean, it's very similar, right? Southwest, but it's much larger, much larger. And one of the things I do like about Arizona is that you can drive still. I know you can drive here, Chicago, Dallas, but the traffic is just horrendous. But Phoenix being a newer city, when it started expanding, everything's a loop and a bowl. I mean, you miss your exit, you're good.
Yeah.
You're not 20 minutes behind schedule like in Denver. You miss an exit in Denver, whew, you might as well just keep going to Fort Collins, dude.
No kidding. Yeah, it's over.
Yeah.
Big time. So you've always been a baseball guy. Are you interested in other sports? Have you ever do you watch football on Sundays? What's kind of your go-to, or if you're even into that stuff?
Yeah, I love all sports. Growing up was football, baseball. Once I started umpiring professionally, I kind of just lost the fan aspect in all sports, truthfully.
Yeah.
And I still love it. I know you got a lot of baseball guys who are, they're diehard football fans or hockey, especially. I didn't know that was that big with umpires, but yeah, I love football. I don't keep up with it nearly as I used to, but yeah, of course, man. Sunday, throw on the game, Sunday night. There's nothing like a football game.
Well, Sunday afternoon, you're going to see me as a lunatic, probably right here on this couch, unless we go somewhere else. But I like to suffer in the comfort of my own home. My Rams are playing the 49ers. 49ers have won 7 in a row. We're infiltrated with 49er fans here in the city of Los Angeles. For some reason, it's beyond me. The only Rams victory was in the NFC Championship game last year, but 7 in a row for the Niners. It's looking like 8.
Dang.
So it's always the 2 hardest days of the year for me. I live a very troubled life, Jesse. Watching the Rams lose to the Niners, just play the Niners. Even when they win, I'm not even like that happy. It's just like, oh, thank God, I'd have to listen to them for a few weeks. So I'm a little crazy when it comes to my Rams.
No, I remember when I was out here in 2020, before all the madness happened, we were watching the Super Bowl, and you were just going ballistic. Anytime the Niners I was like, the Rams ain't playing. I was like, oh yeah, Niners are in the division, and so I've gotten a taste.
Oh yeah, and this is the part of like, I mean, I'm not gonna get all political and stuff, but like this is the problem with like when you divide people up into groups and things. It's the natural thing to, when you put people in groups, to be like, okay, well, this is our group, we're going to hate that group. Like, think of it from a team standpoint. If you're a Rams fan, you have to hate the Niners, or vice versa. Like, so that's why I like not putting people in different groups. It's like, hey, we're all one. We're all except on Sundays. Then we're all enemies. I could care less.
Church.
Yes, church, exactly. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that's fandom. That's why I thought it was healthy for me to get into officiating, because this is me calmed down a little bit. Taking a little of the fandom out of my body, and then now I'm back to it with my Rams, of course. But
yeah, well, and two, when you're from a state that has a team, or in this case, multiple teams, it's easy to hop on the train.
Sure.
In New Mexico,
yeah, what do you do?
Most people are Cowboys fans. Ugh. Gross.
Thank you.
Or Denver fans.
I get that. Regional. Yeah.
My family, we're mutts. We got Titans. I'm Dolphins. Vikings, Raiders, Bears, Redskins, or excuse me, Commanders.
Yeah, the Shit, unbelievable.
To be politically correct.
PC. Yeah. Not on this podcast. What's the connect? I mean, what's the connection to all those cities? You guys just spin around and point in a direction? What?
Essentially, I have no idea how they became. I just remember when I was a little kid.
Dolphins. Okay.
Yeah, had a Dolphins football. I guess we probably got it from like a yard sale or type deal, and I just played with that little thing. I can vividly remember it, even being that young, and stuck with the Dolphins.
Or was it the Ace Ventura movie that just made you a big fan? I don't know. The Dolphins. Okay. Miami. Hey, I'm against Florida. Actually, Miami, of all the places I've had some good times as you have in many different parts of the country and outside. Miami's a place I want to get to, and
Yeah.
I don't know that I'll come back, but I think it would be a good time. Everyone who goes there is just like, yeah, it's like Vegas with a beach.
Yeah. And I've heard that the bars don't close there.
Oh,
That's what
why
I've
would
heard.
they?
Yeah.
You
So.
know, dangerous, deadly.
Yeah.
I haven't been in New Orleans. I've heard good things there.
Likewise. My cousin got married in 18. I missed his bachelor party in New Orleans because we were on the road.
Oh, wow.
So that's been my only opportunity to go, but I'd love to go there as well.
Man, interesting. Probably Miami. Again, people talk about the beaches here and like, oh no, you're gonna miss the beach. I'm like, I don't remember the last time it was that I went to a beach, to the beach. I mean, it's not that far away, but it is, and it's a hassle. So there's plenty of nice things here in California when they're open, when they're not shut down and regulated and all that. But
Right.
we'll I'm sure run into that at some point. Halloween's around the corner. We got nice decorations going on around here. Are you a big Halloween guy?
Actually not.
Okay.
I won't lie, I'll be truthful to the audience and to you. I am a wuss when it comes to scary stuff.
Okay. Same. Simpatico.
It is not it is not entertaining to me to frighten myself.
Why?
I want to laugh at slapstick comedy for an hour and a half and be done with it and not have to worry about putting every light on in the hallway when I go use the restroom at night.
Dude, I don't care if you're 12 years old or 32. Like, you see something scary, you're wearing out your light bill. And not only that, you're like calling down the hallway, like, hey, I'm coming.
Yeah.
Like,
No,
I don't care. And I'm not afraid to admit that. I do not do scary. Now, there have been some films that I have liked that were rather surprising, and I still watch them like this. But yeah, I'm with you. People who are like, oh, I love being scared. I'm like, what is wrong with you? Try joy. It's a better feeling.
Yeah, right.
You know?
Yeah.
When did you know this? As a kid or just?
Oh yeah, my whole life. Never really been into it. Dressed up as a kid. I couldn't tell you the last time I've dressed up as an adult, you know. And
Adults
then
really shouldn't, people. But
yeah.
anyway.
Well, then in college too, all I did was umpire, club ball and stuff. And every year in Vegas, actually, speak of the devil, they have a Halloween bash tournament. So I did that for 4 or 5 years. We'd go out to we'd go out to Vegas, and it's interesting seeing everybody on the strip. But yeah, almost my whole life, man. Not a big Halloween guy. Yeah, I'll throw down. We can have fun, but not my number one
I don't
holiday.
like the themes. Anyway, I should have mentioned, University of New Mexico graduate, stayed close to home. What is up with the Lobo football team, man? They haven't been good for a long time, maybe since Urlacher.
Yeah. We used to crush it in basketball when I was there. So I was in UNM 12 to 16 and 13, 14, 15, man. We had killer teams for basketball.
Yeah.
And 2 years in a row, we lost to Ivy Leagues. So we all would joke like, yeah, I guess we really are dumb. Yeah. But yeah, Yale smoked us one year, and then Harvard. I think Harvard was like a 15 and we were 3, and that dude was just draining threes. But yeah, the football squad, man, as long as I've been around, they've never really been good.
What was it like in college going to games? The tailgate scene, or I mean, what can you tell us anyway about the New Mexico Lobo game day scene anyway?
Yeah, not discrediting anybody, but they weren't very good. So a lot of us, at least when I was there, we'd go tailgate and then we'd go right back to the houses for the house party. And then I don't know if you remember, but
the game's got in the way then.
Yes, exactly.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, I don't know if you remember, but my college house, when you opened my front door, you were looking at the tailgates.
Wow.
So we threw some good ones.
Dangerous.
We will just leave it at
that.
Let's
leave it there. Yeah, moving on. When you get to New Mexico, you walk in the locker room, at least for the baseball, which is in the basketball arena. I mean, they let it be known, hey, you're at 5,000 whatever feet. They let you know you're at elevation, and you can feel it. Let me tell you, in the baseball games, they're hitting the ball out of the ballpark, but you start sprinting around a little bit, especially in a football game or something, you're winded. I mean, it was like, what is this? We're way high up here trying to breathe. It was crazy.
Yeah, that's why you see a lot of UFC fighters. They'll train out of New Mexico.
That's right.
Albuquerque.
John Jones, right? Most notably.
And Holly Holm.
That's right. The preacher's daughter. Love her.
Yeah, she's awesome. And she's great for the community. She's just a pure soul, absolute pro. She's legit.
Yes, she is. She's
cool.
Fantastic. Well, Back to Halloween. So yeah, I don't quite get the scaring thing. I mean, dress up, dress up, candy's cool and everything, but this darkness, this evil that sets upon us. And I'm not getting all spiritual or anything here, but I much prefer the light and the birth and the joys of Christmas and like those things. But some people, someone I live with, loves this Halloween stuff. They're lunatic. I don't know what it is. Do you know crazy Halloween people?
Yeah, none that I can think of off top, but just when you're seeing people that go all out and they've been planning their costume for years or months rather, and even some people will grow out their hair for. I mean, you just hear wild stuff, and you're like,
Yeah.
"Hey, I get it. That's cool. That's fun. Just not for me."
No, I'm with you. Do you think I have many theories, but I have a theory that I think women, as far as adults go, I think they enjoy dressing up more than men do. Maybe there are some guys out there, but I think it's in the female nature really to have multiple outfits in general. And us, we have 3 or 4 t-shirts we probably always wear, and maybe some nice pair of pants. But I think women enjoy the aspect of dressing up a lot more than men do for Halloween.
Yeah, I'd agree. And they can, that's their thing, right? They accessories and jewelry, and so it kind of adds maybe a little bit more fun for them instead of just trying to get ready to impress, I guess.
I'm not saying it's not nice visually. Hey, we want to support the ladies
Please,
out there,
yeah, explore.
and the dudes I think are more clever when it comes to costumes. Like they'll do something funny or because and that's the nature of men and women anyway. Like I've heard anyway, although I have a lovely young woman. You want to make a girl laugh. Oh, she'll be yours forever. All that stuff, right? So I think guys have that natural tendency to, all right, let's try to be funny and more humorous with our costumes than otherwise.
Yeah, I see that.
What about? I mean, we might talk some candy here as we dive into this. We were joking. You enjoyed Mike Jarbo and me.
Jarby.
We might see him later tonight. You enjoyed our fast food draft that he and I did about a year and a half ago or whenever that was.
Oh yeah. Yeah, that was awesome. And we'd got talking about candy, and maybe we'll have to dive into something like that. But yeah, that was just great.
What was so funny and great? Because almost doing that, I thought of like you specifically as someone who would appreciate that. But I know there were other people who know Mike and I who are probably just both rolling their eyes like, what is up with these guys?
Yeah, well, spending an entire summer on the road with you guys with no kitchen, you eat a lot of fast food naturally, right?
Yes.
And I learned that you guys are adamant and serious about your dishes. And when I was seeing it on a screen, I felt like I was right there. I was like, this is 2018 in the van. And then just the attentiveness too that both of you had during, I was like, this is Mike and Matt, 1000%.
Yes.
And that's the main kick I got out of it is, I've seen you guys indulge in those, and then to hear you talk about it on a, serious level, it was pretty cool.
I'm trying to find out when that episode was. If you guys haven't heard that, you got to go back and listen. Yeah,
I think it was like last July.
Last July?
I want to say. I know I was on the road.
Okay.
For sure.
It was 21, and I remember telling you specifically about it. I was like, "Hey, you got to listen to this."
Yeah, I want to say late June, early July would be my guess.
It'd be great. Any minor league umpire, any umpire in general, anyone who's dabbled, we'll say, in the fast food lifestyle a little bit. Which, okay, May 28th, 2021.
Oh, May. Wow.
Got a decent amount of plays. About an hour and a half. May 28th, 2021. If you go to the Get Home Safe podcast list of podcasts, you can scroll back and find that one. That one's on YouTube as well. So we made sure to get our fast food cups lined up, and I think we had some NFL primetime music going in the background. They're just very serious stuff. So
very serious stuff.
I know I look like it. I'm not a big candy guy. I indulge other ways, but but around this time of year though, you just kind of get a little more sweet tooth, right? It's hard not to, and everyone's eating candy, especially the adults. Oh, candy time! Let me grab some. So, what are some of your go-tos, man? Craving some Halloween candy. What are you hoping's in the bag?
Not even close. Not even a question. Reese's.
Wow. OG.
Yeah,
Okay.
just straight go-to. Chocolate and peanut butter.
Oh,
It's soft in the middle. You got to unwrap it. I mean, makes you work a little, it's not just giving it up right away.
the hockey pucklet, right? Looks like
Yeah.
hockey puck.
Uh-huh.
The nice ridges on the outside.
Yes, just texture, the
Now we're talking.
details, the consistency.
Mm-hmm.
That would be my number one.
Number one.
If it has to be a bar, more of a bar, Snickers.
Snickers,
Yeah,
just classic.
Yeah, oh yeah, like the peanut, like the crunch. I don't indulge in candy so much either, but I guess like you're saying, the classics. I stick with the classics.
The classic. Okay, so you're an old soul in that regard. Okay, interesting. There's a few versions of that I like, but a few off the top of my head. I love me a Reese's. First of all, if you're gonna go Snickers, I love the white wrapper Snickers almond.
Okay.
It's a little tweak on the classic. I don't know what it is. The almond just pops a little more for me. But if I gotta go, a couple of my favorite candy, 100 grand. Again, a unique. You get it's like crisp, and hard caramel inside. There's a uniqueness to it. I don't like going with the flow. I like little different flavor, if you will. And what's another one? And my number one though is the Symphony Bar, made by Hershey's.
Oh, you're way
Chocolate,
underground.
milk chocolate, underground. That's me. Milk chocolate, the toffee. It's the perfect mix. If it's in the house, it's not going to ever last long. That is just they only come in king size bars, or at least that's what I've seen.
At least the ones I buy.
And then the one that, man, when I was a kid, if I saw a caramello, life couldn't get better. I think they've gone to a purple wrapper now. Again, the details are what matters here. And from that dark red cardinal-ish color. But man, if I got to go top three off the top of my head, I got to go caramello, Symphony, and 1,000 grand, 100 grand. They used to have great commercials too. I don't know where they went. That's maybe weather. Marketing, I tell you, people. What else? You got any? Come on, you got some other ones. I know you do.
Oh yeah, I love Skittles.
Really?
Oh yeah.
See, I could go without Skittles.
See, when they changed the green one, I don't know the exact flavor, but a few years back they changed whatever flavor it was to what it is now. Not a big fan of that. I wish they would have kept the old one, but I guess people didn't like the original one. But
just classic then.
Yeah.
Not the what is it? Sweet. No, the sweet and sour or something. Or
whatever it is, something like that. And then love me some Starburst. Man, all these are kind of classics, but remember,
you are, man. You are, what are you? It was 1960s. Jesse Segura.
But no, you remember being a kid and you get a Starburst pack and all you do is pick through the red and pink ones and you give away you want a Starburst? Yeah, yellow for days. Take an orange, take a yellow. Can I have a red one?
Nah, sorry, man. We ain't that close. Yeah. I like the other version. Like there was a tropical Starburst.
Oh.
What I like about the Starburst is it took a little time. You just crush it right. I mean, individually, boom, last you 2 or 3 minutes. Another one, boom, and it just like you felt like you had more.
Yeah.
Right? I'm a visual guy.
Yeah. You can kind of twist it, put it in your pocket for later.
Tropical. There was something like strawberry banana or something. There was some good Starburst versions. It was besides that classic one.
Yeah. No, I know the tropical one you're talking about. They had a fruit punch one or something in there. Dude. Yeah.
Oh,
unreal.
Something purple, I think, was like a purple. Anyway, well, we have to make a stop here at the store. Doctor said more fruit, right? So we got to make a little more Starburst.
Taste the rainbow.
I think did I write a few down? I'm trying to remember. No, and that's the tough. I mean, chocolate is amazing, but then you go, you need that. You almost the fruity stuff that like you almost justify during the day. You just I go, this is just a little something sweet, you almost justify having the fruity sugary snacks than the other stuff.
Yeah, it's kind of like a light beer. You can drink a light beer during the day. It doesn't weigh you down. It's like the fruity candy.
Oh, here we go. Okay, so I did write a couple down. First of all, again, you got to have a tweak on the original peanut butter Twix. Good Lord. So good. The original is great, no caramel, but you go peanut butter with that cookie crunch. And again, in a Twix, you get 2 of them. I know they're really thin, but hey, in my mind, there's 2 in here. So I don't know where you stand on the Twix, but for me, peanut butter Twix. Oh,
I love Twix. I've never had the peanut butter.
What?
One, yeah.
We need to do some tasting tonight. Isn't that funny, by the way? Like, you both like to eat and such, but like, if you want to sound fancy, just label. Oh, we're having a tasting.
Yeah.
Like, this is not a smorgasbord. Oh, we're having a tasting. You know, we lay out all the candy on a plate, walk around, and just do what is this? Let's see. This is bagged in Pennsylvania.
Yeah. Oh, it would be cool.
A candy tasting. That'd be like the adult. That'd be a nice little party, actually. Adult party. Candy tasting. Almond Joy is another one of my favorites. I love coconut.
Okay.
You put coconut on a donut, I'm like yours forever. I don't eat many donuts, but coconut on a donut is my weakness in life. Got to be my kryptonite.
I didn't know that. I'm not a big coconut guy, so I'm passing on the Almond Joys.
Okay, that's fine.
A little coconut cream pie though, all day. But an Almond
pie?
Joy,
Yeah, see, we're going all over the place. We're going from candy to pie. This is not a good. Well, good thing we're full from lunch because this is a bad conversation to have otherwise. Oh man, coconut cream pie, banana cream pie is legit too. No,
just stop. Oh yeah, absolutely. just stop.
Marie Callender's like a half mile from here that we will get to. But yeah, no, Halloween. I mean, I'm much more of a Christmas guy, and there's some movies I've liked that would surprise some people. One of them is actually called Saw. I didn't think I'd be terrified by it, but I watched that, and I watched most of them in the series. I got her to watch the first one. Very dark, gruesome, not the whole movie, but interesting storyline that I always like a good storyline, no matter if it's funny or scary or whatever. So the Saw series I really, really liked, just for the storyline more than anything. Is there any movie, Chucky, Poltergeist,
the old schools,
Freddy Krueger, Michael Myers, any of that stuff that I never got in. That stuff was too scary to me.
Yeah. So I remember when I was a kid, and maybe this is what scarred me, but all the older cousins, everybody were hanging out, right? And they made all the little kids watch The Shining.
Oh,
scarred.
How old were you?
I'd have been second, third grade.
Oh, you can't do that to a kid.
No, we used to do that stuff all the time. And I was like, okay, not into this.
No.
And then in high school, I was like, man, it's not as bad, but I still was like, nope, I'm good. But some of the movies that I actually have enjoyed that are scarier, a little bit cornier, like, Jeepers Creepers. These are all a little bit older.
That's a movie I've seen parts of. He's like jumps on top of the truck and stuff like that, right?
Yeah, he like eats people's body parts to
make
his
man.
Yeah, it's so corny.
I've wanted to watch it actually. I was like, okay, I think I could tolerate that one.
Yeah, my older brother and I, we love it. We love how cheesy it is, and I enjoy it. There's another one, House of Wax. These were all when I was like growing up.
I remember the previews of that one. That looked weird.
Yeah, it was Paris Hilton. That's another older one too, mid 2000s era. All those like slasher.
Yeah, like come on, man.
Guy in a costume type deal. But for some reason, I liked
that one.
Yeah,
we liked the Purge movies. Those were pretty good. Again, dark themed and everything. Not really Halloween, but scary in a sense of like it plays with your mind tricks. Like, whoa, this is. Imagine if this was true. Stuff like that. I almost think it's scarier in some. Nowadays, they get so carried away with the violence and like we're gonna rip people apart, and you're gonna see. It's like for a lot of us, we don't want to see that stuff. The idea of like a roller coaster is you're going downhill and that feeling, but it's not like you feel like you're gonna fall off it. That's not why you like to be scared. Like you like it's almost more scary hearing something that's going on and having to visualize it yourself. That theme that they've done in movies for so long too is not seeing the violence or whatever, but just having to picture it, because our mind is the worst trigger, I think, upon us, good or bad sometimes.
Yeah, no, for sure. And that actually reminds me of another classic is Psycho from Alfred Hitchcock.
Wow.
And that movie, while it doesn't scare me because of the storyline, it's just creepy and eerie because of that time, the way he was able to depict the story. And I studied Alfred Hitchcock in college a little bit, so what went into that movie to be made, what they had to use. So, and then almost it's one of those movies you've seen countless times, and even though what's going to happen, what the next line is, you're still on your seat because it was just that captivating the way
Yeah.
it was directed, even in the 60s. So that's
Man.
another one of my go-tos in terms of scary movies.
What was it? This stuff was like when we were in high school. I think it was how I know what you did last summer.
Oh yeah.
Did you ever see that one?
Yeah.
Okay, that was a little epic. There was a sequel too,
Yeah, I think they made a few of those ones.
and then there was another movie similar to that. I can't remember but again, I didn't.
Final Destinations.
Oh yeah. So those are interesting. I haven't
Mhm.
seen them all the way through. Isn't that like they know how you're gonna die, or they show you before it happens or something?
Yeah, and then it happens to them, and then
Oh,
people are trying to like cheat death and stuff. Yeah,
Oh
I
my
haven't
goodness.
seen those in
Really?
a while, but
I have to dive in. See, I like
Yeah.
something that's clever, at least like that. And for a
Mhm.
lot of people, it's like, why would you again want to watch that negativity? I much like watching something I can laugh at or be uplifted by or learn something. Like being scared or like any of that is way down the list of my
Yeah.
priorities for sure.
I'm right there with you.
Oh man. Well, we might have to partake anyway because we may not be going out and such a whole lot, but we may be hanging out here. And I know Val would be way into that stuff. What
Cool.
was I going to bring up to you? I wrote some things down. No, those are well. Anyway, what do you think about the upcoming World Series? I know you're not much of a fan anymore, but Astros again, and then the Phillies back there, first time since '09, I think. Man, I don't know if I'll be watching much of it, but a unique World Series, I think for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't got any beef with the Astros. The whole cheating scandal and stuff. I could care less. Everybody in baseball cheats. That is a little bit extreme to the extent they went, certainly. But I don't know who the crew is actually. Seriously, man, once you start officiating, even I always have my mom throws house parties for the UFC fights all the time.
Oh,
And
always liked your mom.
Yeah.
Always liked your mom.
And I make people crack up because I'll be cheering on the ref,
Yeah.
Herb Dean.
Herb Dean,
And then
baby.
there's another guy, so anyway, I really look forward to the officials in all sports if I know them. Of course, baseball I know the most. So yeah, great for those teams getting there, but I want to know who the crew is, who's got the plate, what the rotation is.
Well, again, it's the uniqueness of like anyone can watch a game and pull for a team or be curious who wins. But I always have loved looking at sports from a different perspective and watching the officials. That I remember just watching officials as a kid and be like, I wonder if I could do that someday, or what it takes to do that. And that's what got us all into this crazy life we chose. But you're right. You're right. It's I like being unique. I don't like going with the crowd. I like going against the upstream sometimes, and I don't want to root for something or do something just because everyone's doing it. I've never been that way. So yeah, I'm the same way. It's one of the first things I notice in a game is who's the plate umpire. Wait, who's the referee this fight? Who are the referees on the floor of the basketball game? Like that's one of the first things I turn to, and because I love hearing that perspective. I can hear any basketball player, any football player on ESPN anytime, but to be on a field and to be in charge and have to control everything going on and then be scrutinized for it's a pressure for sure. But as I talked to Tony Padilla from Northern California, who's worked 3 Final Fours now, he and I shared that pressure is a privilege, and I think in officiating, if people were to ask you why you do it, what was it for you that got you onto the field to do something that you can't be perfect at, but people expected you to be?
Yeah, I'll never forget. I was sitting there, and it was the summer of when I graduated, and I was like, I'll get a job when the summer ends. You're fresh out of college. You don't want to go straight to work. At least I didn't. And you blink and the summer's done.
Yeah.
And I'm like, all right, I think I'm going to give this umpire school thing a try. It was either graduate school or umpire school. So I chose umpire school and I liked it. Thought I knew some stuff, didn't.
But before that, why even umpire school? Like what was the beginning, like umpiring? Like did you umpire? But what was it that gave you this like, oh, I want to go do that? Or was it just something that you saw from afar? Like, I don't know anybody that does that. What was it that even got you interested in recognizing umpiring?
Yeah. So when I was playing in high school, I had tried, and my family we weren't doing the best financially at the
Mm,
time. And so I went to a clinic, whatever. I was a sophomore in high school. Well, at the end, you got hit with well, you need X amount of money to start
yeah.
with shirts and uniform and stuff. You know what? As a 15, 16-year-old kid, I wasn't as savvy with communicating and reaching out. So, I probably could have got some gear, but I didn't. So I went back my freshman year of college because I said, I don't want to be making sandwiches during college, and I don't want to be cold calling all of
No.
college either.
No.
It's like, let me go give this umpire thing a try
Yeah.
again. And it put me back out on the field. All right. And my grandfather, rest in peace, his soul, was an umpire way
Oh,
back in the
okay.
day. Yeah. So it's in the bloods there somewhere.
How awesome was it, though? I don't know how much when you first start working games, in your college after high school, I don't know how much you're making. Maybe it's $20, maybe it's $10, but like you're gonna do 3 or 4 games in a day. They're gonna pay you $20 a game, and then they'll feed you a cheeseburger between each. I mean, to at that when I first started doing it, and that was how I was like, I'm never retiring. This is the greatest job ever.
Yeah, I was the same way when I was talking about those tournaments, actually.
Yeah.
That was my first big tournament. I was like, whoa, 14 games in a weekend. I was like, that's a thing?
Wow.
Yeah. And I thought I had made it,
Then you did the dollars. Like, wait a minute,
Yeah,
14 times. Oh yeah, I'm doing it. Let's do
yeah.
it.
Oh, wow. Then all the guys are going. We'll make a road trip out of
And
it.
then so much better than flipping burgers or having to go dig ditches or something, right? In college, right after high school. Like there's so many more worse ways to make money than go out there and umpire a kids game.
Yeah, absolutely. And you think of it as on your worst day of work, you get to go to the ballpark.
Yeah.
Whether it's 10U or the big leagues, you're at the ballpark and you're getting paid to be there.
Yeah.
So that's really tough to beat that.
Now I'm a little different. It's behind me for the most part. I've had a lot of friends. Oh, come back and do it. I'm like, dude, I gave it a great run. I've done all the stuff you could think of, and I'm good. I'm content. I'm happy. It's to each his own. Everyone's got to make their own decision. But anyway, you went. So you found a way to go to umpire school, and did you go hoping to get a job in minor league baseball, or did you just go kind of like I did, just like, well, I'll learn some stuff and maybe get to work college someday?
Yeah, so I actually had to go twice. And the first year was 2017. I'd finished college in 2016. And actually, one of my buddies couldn't make it to my graduation party. I'll never forget. I
Hmm.
was like, why? And he's like, well, I just, went to umpire school, didn't make it, and I got a job in the Can-Am. It was still the Can-Am at the time. I was like,
The Can-Am League, independent league
yeah.
in the Northeast. It is Canada and three teams in America, 3 teams in Canada, or something like that, give or take.
Yeah, and I think they merged with the Frontier League this
Oh
year.
wow.
Yeah,
Huh.
something like that. But he was saying this. I was like, what's umpire school?
Yeah.
What a professional league? What? No,
Yeah.
there's only the big leagues. Like you just all these things that you're naive to, or you just don't know, right?
Yeah.
And so I was like, no shot at my buddy, but I was like, if he can do it,
Yeah.
I can do it. And so I went to school not knowing truly anything.
This is a baseball.
Yeah.
And that's about it. You think you know, right?
Yeah.
Did you think you knew anything? And then we're like, oh man, I know nothing. Or were you like, man, I know nothing. I need to absorb all this right away. Was there some humility there early on?
So I thought I knew, I had
Yeah.
been getting mentorship from some college guys, older guys. They're like, yeah, you're pretty good, kid. So, and then you kind of one of the better ones in your group, right? Or maybe your association, your area, and maybe you're shining because you just started. So I thought that I kind of knew what I was doing. And then once you start really developing it and learning it, you're like, this is not what I was expecting.
Yeah.
I didn't know this. I'm still learning. And so I didn't really truly understand how professional it was.
Mm.
So when I was there, and I didn't treat it like a vacation per se, but I didn't treat it as seriously as I should have. Just because I simply didn't really understand or comprehend, wow, this is a job interview every day, everywhere you go.
Yeah.
This is important. You do have to dress a certain way and do certain things. And I'm not saying that in a negative way by any means. I love that about the job. I truly do. I love all the professional aspects.
Would you say, because this just popped in my head right now, like to explain it to people, the one I went to was called the Jim Evans Academy, and they were proud of it being an academy in the school. But like, I look at it like, I don't know what it's like to go to military school. or a service academy, but basically there they tell you, hey, here's how you're going to do things, and they expect that of you. Going to umpire school, all the off the field stuff, that is just like no one tells you anything, but it's expected of you. So it's a little different in regards like that. Not to knock military school, but like to me, that was my experience, and a lot of it is common sense, but it's not to everybody, you know.
Yeah, for sure. And it's kind of one of those things that a lot of guys, and I'm sure almost every umpire has probably been guilty of it, is you want to hear X marks the spot. And I'm not talking about just a play. You want to hear, oh, do it this way. Oh, do it that way. When in actuality, it's not the way it goes. You're going to have to mess things up. You're going to have to go through those experiences. You're going to have to get a hotel canceled or a rental car tire blown out or a 14 inning game with 4 ejections. You just have to go through it. And it's one of those type deals you can consider maybe on the job training, but really that's the job, you know?
Well, so many people, you know, and I came from a relatively not a small town by any means, but like people are like, oh man, you need to everyone can hear this dog over here that I yell about. It's just during the day. So people, you need to no matter, there's 50 states in America. Okay. There's a bunch of different cities in each of those states. And a lot of people who know you, not you, but just you or me in general, they're like, oh man, yeah, he was a great umpire in our little league or our high school stuff. Man, he's going to make it in the big leagues. And it's like, what people don't understand is there's multiple people from all the different states in the country who show up every year trying to get that major league job and just trying to get into one of those 20 or so spots in the minor leagues to begin that journey. And so every city, I would say every state has multiple people that are just like you, that are just like me, that are a lot better than me and you as well, who are striving for the same goals and dreams we all had. But people back home don't understand that. They think, oh, you just go, oh yeah, you're gonna make it, no big deal. And it's just like it doesn't work that way. There's 100 U.S. senators, there's 50 governors, there's 60, 70 major league umpires. I maybe I thought 70 umpires, and then 200 minor league guys. So you run the numbers. There's guys in every state who want to do the job of umpiring and are competing to get an opportunity to do it at the highest level. So you'd like to think people want to, oh, you're special, you're unique, but no, you're just another base out there, really, when it comes down to it.
Yeah, I won't name drop, but one of somebody I've learned from, this has always resonated with me. And some people think it's harsh. I don't. But he said, look, there's no such thing as a minor league career.
Mm-mm.
Your whole goal is to get to the big leagues. Now that's your career. So when you're in the minor leagues, when you're in the system, it's just a job. And I'm not downplaying it by any means, but sometimes you have to tell yourself that, hey, this is a job. And as you were saying, you might have that feeling of, oh, I'm something special. And that's okay to feel that, but you got to come back down to reality and just always tell yourself, this is a job.
Mm-hmm. And when you're working minor leagues, all those guys, same thing with the players, all of them were told, oh, you're the best guy in our town. And then you show up, there's a lot of towns in America,
True.
You show up and when you call a pitch a guy doesn't like, he doesn't care that you were the best umpire in the history of Care Youth League or whatever, or the Alburquerque Little League, like whatever. It's just like, what? None of that matters. Like it's all comes down to it. So I've stepped away from baseball for the past few years. I've been very happy with my decision. A lot of people have said, oh, come back, do this. But for me, I've run my race. It was a good time. I did a lot more things in it than I ever thought I would. College, pro ball, and I'm content. I'm happy. I'm good. Like I'm not looking back, at least not right now. I got other things and other goals in my life.
Yeah, absolutely. And I respect that about you because we are athletes. People don't see us as such, but we are. And every athlete has to know when to hang them up. Truthfully, whether that's
some guys don't. Some guys
right,
don't. Umpires or NFL guys. Anyway, You're right.
No, right. And that's what I was saying. I respect you for it. And it doesn't have to be bad. Hanging up your shoes or your cleats or your skates, whatever, doesn't have to be bad. It's just about knowing. And like you said, man, you did things that you never would have thought would have happened. And you're grateful for that. So now it's on to the next thing. And there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, now I've really enjoyed the podcasting thing and having conversations with people.
Yeah, this is fun.
Yeah, it's
I like
just
this.
that's a little something to do. I said, hey, Jesse, I said, hey, what do you want to do? I said, how do you feel about sitting on the couch and doing a pod? You're like, sure. Gotta give love to Dave Ashwiggy from Nebraska, our guy, man. Like in Nebraska, Dave Ashwiggy.
Yeah. You guys are terrible. The pizza in his head.
Pizza in his hand. We were like, who is
Mouthful.
that? Oh my goodness. He's the best former umpire as well. But just the people you run across in the game. And I was fortunate to do multiple sports. I got to work at Fox Studios and do instant replay for basketball. I've done so many things. And could I keep doing all that? Sure, but it's almost like, what for? Let someone else do it too. And no, I'm good. I got to meet so many different friends. I am more than happy with the journey. I'm never gonna say never, but it sure feels like it for me. And I'll tell you this, man. 5 years ago, I didn't know what I would do without baseball, football. I didn't know what I was like. It was terrified of the real world, real job. Oh my goodness, no, I can't do that. And
Right.
You know what? As so often is the case, you grow up, you learn what you can live without and what you can't live without. I think is just the natural course of maturing through life.
Yeah, I agree. And your dreams change, your aspirations change, and realistically, your budget changes.
Yeah.
And let's be real, you don't get paid the big bucks until you get to the big leagues. So sometimes that's part of it too. You're like you're tired of having, to live on the road and to live with the wages that we're given. And sometimes that's part of it too. You just want something more substantial.
Yeah, and absolutely. And some guys chase it forever, and I have nothing but respect for that too. Like, hey, if you want it and you keep striving, you never know where it might end. And Godspeed. That's what I say. What I know before you were a substitute teacher. Do you think maybe you'll do more teaching in the future? Did you like teaching? I kind of tried. I didn't really even get into a classroom. I was gonna do it, and I was like, nope, not for me. But you did it. You seem like it suits you well. Do you want to pursue that maybe a little more?
So not necessarily pursue it more. I like where I'm at with substituting. I actually still am doing it. I just subbed yesterday. I did middle school and it's fun. I enjoy it. And that's what I like about the substituting is it's flexible. I'm
Yeah.
not committed to sixth grade science Monday through Friday, August to May, right? I can do sixth grade science and then eighth grade PE and then band and then social studies. I like being able to bounce around.
That's cool.
So pursuing it in the terms or the sense of becoming a full-time teacher, no, but still sticking it out for now, doing it. I like it, man. I go the school that I sub at, I actually went to. So
Oh, what's
yeah.
your favorite age group?
I did middle school,
Okay.
oddly enough.
Wow.
Yeah. I'm licensed K through 12. When I first started, everyone said, try every group because you just never know. Elementary kids,
Not
too
for
much hand holding. High schoolers,
No,
I remember what I was doing in high school and no thank you.
just right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Middle school, middle
Yes.
ground, middle everything.
Yes. Are they immature? Yes. Are they silly and messy? Yes. But they're old enough to where they don't need to be handheld, but they're still young enough to where they're not going to be like, F this guy.
Yeah.
Like a lot of high schoolers.
Respect for law and order, or whatever is the case. Now I would like that aspect of it. Hey, you're not doing the same lesson plans every day, every year, but being in multiple classes, like you were saying, because you don't know what you're going to do each and every day unless you're in a long-term situation. So when you wake up in the morning, you just kind of look on your phone for what's available, where you need to be, or how does that all work?
Yeah, so that is how it works. We have a system, you have an account, you log in and you just type in the day and it'll give you a list. I mean, I know it's bad everywhere, but especially back home. I mean, there's hundreds of jobs that are needed every day.
Wow.
K through 12, everything you could think of. So that is how it typically works. So you just sign up and it'll tell you the day, the hours, the class, the
So it's in
teacher.
advance. It's not necessarily, hey, today, this morning, we need you here.
Correct.
Okay.
They will do that. They'll send out texts or calls, but this is my 5th year doing it. I've been doing it as long as I've been in baseball, and the school that I work at, they love me and I love them. And especially during the college season,
Yeah.
I got to miss a lot of Thursdays, Fridays, Mondays, and they're totally cool with it. When I was still doing high school ball, had a 4 o'clock game, school gets out at 3, I'd have to leave a little early. They were cool with it.
That's great.
Yeah, so that's what I like about it mostly is it's flexible with baseball,
Mhm.
and I still want to pursue baseball, so I'll keep subbing, but don't necessarily want to commit to anything full time.
I'm sober from baseball now for a little while. Hopefully no relapse here, but we'll see. For now, I got to get my coin clean and sober from baseball for a couple of years. I still watch it. I still love it. I still watching my umpire buddies work and things. What did you study in college that you were thinking of doing, or did you just do something random?
No, I majored in mass communications
Mhm.
with emphasis in strategic communications. So that's like marketing,
Sure.
PR, advertising.
Similar background then. We
Yes,
have
exactly.
communications, public relations, such. To me, it just sounded good and it sounded broad. People, oh, you were a communications major? I'm like, yeah, yeah, pretty much everyone is. But
It's fun.
I loved the concept of radio, TV, and film. I was going to do journalism, then I kind of went out the window, and I wish I would have pursued a little bit more. If I had to do it all over again, not everything I would, but some things I would look back and maybe pursue the radio, TV, film, get into radio or something. I love doing the podcast thing, and it's funny. I was talking to you off the air and with somebody else actually earlier this week. Sometimes you do things. Your passions in life aren't necessarily the ones that you do for a career or the ones you get paid for, and call it a hobby, call it whatever. I'm doing this. I'm doing my Real Hondo Prep Charge to Keep podcast, following my football team. I don't know. These are kind of newfound passions I've found here throughout the course of, again, just living life, sometimes trial and error. So did you think you were going to get into advertising or something after college?
No, actually, I was similar to you. I started with journalism, and then I realized I wanted to be a sports anchor. That's what I thought, at least.
Yeah.
ESPN, type deal. And then when I realized that most journalists don't really have freedom to write or create their own stories, I kind of was like, oh, I didn't realize that. I wanted to create my own things, my own brands or my own, just anything, right? So I switched over to that and I was just loving it. I've always been good at listening and speaking, and it just was a natural fit for me.
Mhm.
And kind of piggyback off what you said, I minored in media arts.
Mm.
I wish I was getting good at that because we did a
Really?
lot of film studying. We did a lot of making your own films. We had my senior year,
Oh,
we had
nice.
it was badass, dude.
Wow.
We had a project where you had to pick a film that was shot in New Mexico, and then you had to go to the location and then create a video by showing parts of where the film was made. And it was a blast. We had a team or a crew of 3 or 4 of us, and we loaded up, went down to Los Alamos, and it was just fun. And I wish I would have stuck with that because things like this, I
Mhm.
was getting good at the editing and uploading, and
It's tedious work.
oh, it's
I try not to edit much anymore.
Yeah.
It's just all right. Let's just go for it.
yeah, no, I remember, man, I would rent out an editing room and I'd be in there literally all day, 6, 7 hours.
Breaking down film.
Yeah, and cutting and adding audio and
So that's what I mean. Again, you and I have very similar backgrounds from that standpoint of what we pursued. And you know what? You don't always land on your feet necessarily, but sometimes you land on the ground and you just, okay, no big deal. You get up and or you walk over where you're supposed to land. So at least that's been my thought on it all. And with the ability to create content now with Instagram and Facebook videos and YouTube and man, if you want to do something, if I can do it, anyone can do it. Because I have, man, when I first started this, I was like, edit, pause, record. What is all this? I don't know what any of this means. What goes where? So that's been fun for me. And again, to just, like my opinions aren't for everyone, and I don't like throwing them out on Facebook and things too often. Although I've gotten a little bit more at that. It's been nice for me to just spew into a mic, say what's in my head, and not everyone has to like what I have to say, but some people do. And cool, like no blood, no ambulance. All is good. Like it is what it is. So you think you're gonna continue doing the substitute teaching thing and of course baseball. And anything else on the horizon, possibly?
Yeah, I'm actually starting a little side hustle right now. I don't want to get into too many details because I'm still very much in the infancy steps. But
All right.
yeah, man, just trying to be versatile, multiple ways of income and
Entrepreneur, look at you.
yeah,
All right.
trying to dabble. And I like stuff like this too. I need
Yeah.
to get back into this because I before Instagram and all that, I was always the kid recording everything. Dude.
Yeah.
Everything I
does it now.
recorded. Everybody used to think I was so weird. I'll never forget, like, put the camera down. Of course, that was shoot.
Yeah.
Shot was already 10, 12 years ago, right? Way different day and age. But still, I just remember those days anyway. So yeah, just always learning.
Yeah.
Like even when you were setting up, I wasn't asking questions, but I was observing. I was watching. I was like, okay, I see where. Okay.
I got stories to tell you about how many times I have messed things up, how many times different things I've tried trial and error. And the loyal listeners here know how many times I've messed up the audio. For instance, this is the first time I got these little mics. I used to try to set up the microphones. Oh no, you're good. Try to set up the mics with the booms and everything, and it was just like it didn't work. Like for this particular room, our old place, yes, this long table, and then I was finally like, wait a minute, what if I got wireless mics? And it didn't have the little Joe Rogan look to it, but still. So hopefully this audio came through because there's been plenty of times when I didn't check something, the audio was empty. So we'll share plenty of war stories.
Oh yeah.
Finally, before we wrap up, Jesse, let's go officially our top 5 candy. I'll go first. You can take some of mine if you want. No competition, no draft. Maybe someday we'll have Jesse on again and we'll do it. But I gotta go for me. Symphony, the milk chocolate, not the dark, that toffee. 100 grand. Get yourself 100 grand if you haven't had one. Caramello, peanut butter Twix, and almond joy. That is my Fab 5.
Okay.
That is for Halloween. I gotta have at least one of those. Every hour. No,
every hour.
What do you got, man? Hit me with your Halloween top 5.
Yep. The other top 5, I'm going Skittles.
Ooh.
Starburst.
Fruit
A lot of
Group.
these are repeats. Snickers. Okay. I'm gonna throw Hershey's in there.
Just original.
It's just straight milk chocolate.
Love it.
Melted on a graham cracker. You don't even need a marshmallow.
Oh, see, I'm learning this. This guy, listen, I have to say this to the people. You may have learned to like Jesse the past hour. We went to In-N-Out, and this lunatic ordered a double with onion. That's fine. I understand there's people who like onion. Onion only. Meat, cheese, onion. No spread, no lettuce, no tomato. Not even pickles. Not even mustard. A dry double with onion. This is what sits before me. And then they put the onion between the 2 patties. He said, I don't like the spread. I don't do Thousand Island. It ruins the burger. You realize how many people you've upset today with that?
Man, I captured some fans. Now I just lost them and all the same split.
3 steps forward and 4 back. What in the world? Explain yourself to the audience. I don't know. I mean,
yeah,
the spread.
To me, the patty is just so good, truthfully, for a fast food patty. I think it's just flavorful. It's the perfect thickness. And the way they melt the cheese, I think all the other ingredients take away from it. Whereas the onion adds that little bit of crunch, that little bit of pungent taste that actually amplifies the taste of the burger instead of saturating it, such as tomato and sauce.
I think you've had way too much green chili in your life that has ruined your palate. That's what's been going on. And you throw some grilled chili on a double with a whole. Have you tried the whole grilled onion, or you like that crunch?
I like both.
Yeah,
I like both. Well, not the whole.
What am I asking you for? Well, you know nothing. You know, and now. All right, I had to tell you the In-N-Out story. All right, finally back to your candy. You said Snickers, Hershey.
Yeah, and then the golden child, Reese's.
Man.
Plain OG with the ridge, none of the white one, none of the.
No, they try to play with. Don't stop.
None of the
Stop
shape ones. Nah, just
it's
the
like
OG hockey puck.
I don't like that. Like the teams that have classic uniforms Having the multiple different look uniforms, that's for teams that have bad uniforms. If you have good
That's a
uniforms.
good point.
The Dodgers and Yankees a couple years ago,
Yeah.
they played at the Dodger Stadium, and they tried these retro things. I'm like, you two have the most iconic, good-looking uniforms in the history of baseball, and you're making it look like a WWF event.
Yeah.
What are you doing? That's for the Devil Rays to have retro uniforms. Not drives me crazy. Yeah, when you take a good candy like Reese's that has been an inspiration and our foundation in this country, and you want to flip it around. I mean, what is going on? I just this is the things I think about and ramble about, Jesse. I can't.
Be part of it.
You're happy.
I'm trying to.
Val, I got to tell you a story. So Val did a wonderful job on the house, cleaning up, and I was helping too. And she cares more than I do. And we were cleaning this. I was like, it's Jesse. It's gonna be, but anytime you have a guest over, no, you gotta make everything brand new. So it was an excuse. She had wanted to paint the bathroom, so she painted it, and it finally dried. And I walked in. She's like, "What do you think?" And I was just like, I didn't see much difference from the color previously. I just kind of like, yeah, I nodded. And she just like, what did she say? I wrote it down. She goes, "Oh, okay, I'm happy and you don't care." I said, yeah, that's pretty, that sums up our relationship, I think. I don't care as long as you're happy. Like,
Yeah.
I really don't care. I do care. Everything's clean. Everything's wonderful. And I love her. And she's wonderful. And she's amazing. And I can't wait until she gets home tonight. Anyway, Jesse, this has been fun, man.
Yeah, it was.
We are just getting started. You just got here. We got about a week, just under a week.
Mhm.
And we're going to have some fun.
We are.
We're going to a little rest and relaxation, a lot of meditation, a lot of soul searching,
Yeah.
but also a lot of peace and quiet. But a lot of that joy we talked about earlier. So had to get this podcast done a little early. Final thoughts, parting words of wisdom or anything?
No, it was fun. Appreciate you having me on. We got to do it again.
Yeah.
And let's go tear down some candy now. I'm serious. Bowl's hollering at me.
Anyway, guys, thank you so much for tuning in to this episode of Get Home Safe. Let me flip the old TV in here. Anyway, a little different setup, but thanks for tuning in, guys. We'll be back next week. Just me. I told you we'd have a guest on here every now and then. I flew him in. Our budget is amping up here. I flew in my good friend Jesse from New Mexico to celebrate Halloween with us. Anyway, guys, have a good weekend. Happy Halloween, everybody. And guys, as always, no matter what you're doing, whether you're out on the town or around in third base, get home safe.